All right, guys, so I want to talk to you in the light of this subject that we're after this month on living for eternity. I want to first talk about the judgment seat of Christ. Now, we usually, when that term or that phrase is brought up, it's kind of a sobering, fearful thing, and yes, it should be. But we're going to dig in a little bit to kind of the context of what this judgment seat is going to be like for us as believers, because we know that everyone's going to have to stand before the judgment seat, but the way that God is talking to the unbeliever is much different than the way he's talking to the believer. And so I want to read to you something that Paul talked about in 2 Corinthians 5, 9 through 10. It says, "So whether we are at home or away, we make it our aim to please him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil." So, Paul is saying, my aim in life, the thing that I am after, my number one focus, the aim for my life, is that appointment when I stand at the judgment seat of Christ. Now, in the Greek, this is the word used here is bema seat. And the bema seat is actually a reward system. It's actually a place where God is handing out rewards for his servants. So for us that are believers, this is not a place of punishment or discipline. This is actually a place where at the bema seat, the reward seat of Christ, God is handing out rewards for how we faithfully served him. And there's actually this reality, and it's going to be heaven, so it's going to be pure. There's not going to be competition, but there's going to be a reality of some people are going to have greater rewards than others. In Daniel 12, it actually talks about that they will have it will be like bright stars that shine forever and ever. And so there's going to be different realms of brightness, different realms of glory, and different resources and rewards for you dependent upon how you live your life. And I just think these words from Paul are so intense, how he says, my aim is this. So Paul's whole aim for his life was pointing at that day and that appointment. The greatest appointment ahead for you is the day that you stand before the judgment seat of Christ and God evaluates the things that you did with your time, your money, your resources, all of the above. And so, guys, I want us to live in light of the judgment seat of Christ, that our decisions that we make on earth today are going to affect the day that we stand before him and we enter into this place called eternity. Love you guys and can't wait for our video next week.